Okay, everybody seems good. Right. Oops, daisy. Jumped a few slides there. Customer care is a result of putting the customer at the start and the end of the value chain. The customer is not only or doesn't only become valuable to you at that point where they've made or after the point that they've made a transaction with you. You don't start offering them service only after they've committed themselves to making and buying from you. When it's a customer-oriented approach like we have discussed so far in this chapter, the customer is the most important person in the transaction from the start, not only after they have transacted with us. Good customer service, I think a good example is the one that we have on the screen there of Microsoft. I know that that particular statement does not necessarily always apply to you Gen Zs because you are very much, you're well equipped and know enough to get by very, very effectively when it comes to modern technology. Very much self-taught, but then also, like my son in grade 11, I'm really the last person that he asks, not because of my limited knowledge, but all right, he's busy, he's not sure what the next step is. He Googles it. He finds different resources to access to explain it to him. He quickly watches a video, which is basically the same that I would have said to him, and sometimes it's definitely better constructed than I would have told him. And it comes from a credible source. Not that your parents are not credible sources, but the fact is that part of the service that is offered nowadays by most companies is that they have that helpline, help desk kind of on almost 24/7 support service that's available to assist you. I found it very valuable now when we converted to Canvas, and we obviously are still learning as we go along. But most of the lessons that I've learned was the ones that was taught to me by the help desk. So whenever I'm battling, that's my first port of call, and that's what makes a customer trust a particular organization, trust the business, that the quality of their service is going to match the quality of their product, because the customer remains the important focus throughout the entire process. Customer care, how we look after our customers, is not just limited to an aftercare service, but very often businesses who are not yet skilled and properly trained on how to conduct a good level of service through the selling process, they at least ensure that when the selling process is over and the customer actually is satisfied with the product that he or she is going to buy, that they have actually met the expectations of the customer, or hopefully have exceeded the expectations of that customer. Every time you exceed the expectations of a customer, you're on the right track towards offering a top class service to your customers. Because of what we said in the previous few slides about the competition is good, but competition also means that the customer have more choices or more options to choose from now, and they will go to a different supplier if they don't get good service. You cannot now only rely on customer loyalty. Customer wants what they want when they want it. That's unfortunately the situation. You therefore have to deliver on those terms. We also see that the other upside is the fact that obviously it is so much cheaper to keep an existing customer than it is to actually find a new one. And therefore, um, the help of modern technology, of especially of IT, has made it easier for us to ensure that we can forge strong relationships with our customers. We have information available more than salespeople had it available 20 years ago. Using technology, excuse me, it helps us to determine their needs more effectively. We obviously, as a business, have to ensure that any technological advancement we keep up with, um, and customer the the challenge of delivering good customer service is not that challenging anymore because of the modern technology, which makes communication so much easier, instantaneous. I, as I said earlier in the week and earlier today, I had my second vaccination on Monday. Apologies. I wasn't even in the reception area of the Mediclinic on my way out to the parking lot when the first WhatsApp came through. So, you've just had your second vaccination. Here's the very important number that you have to remember. Write it down. People are in, if anybody in future, you've got the card, but anyway, if people in future ask you about your vaccine status or vaccination status, and you might experience the following. These are the current and the normal symptoms that you might experience, and here's a number that you can contact if it actually continues for more than 2-3 days. Instantaneous. It happened to me when I bought a vehicle some time ago as well. I haven't even driven around the block after the transaction is completed. I've collected the vehicle. I was still trying to settle into my new vehicle and get used to the smell of a new vehicle. And the WhatsApp came through. Onboard computers, obviously Bluetooth, the whole thing, so everything was there on the screen. Thank you for shopping with us, and this is the number to contact. This is the person that you need to speak to if you have any problems within the first week of using your new vehicle. Communication with our customers is instantaneous, but there are still businesses who don't. I recently had an experience where my washing machine broke. Um, I got the repair people out. They couldn't repair it. They had to take it to the repair shop. They phoned me the next morning and say, "Sir, we can't fix this. Um, some kind of electronic device that." It was 12 years old. So I mean, I got good mileage from the washing machine. We don't stock this part anymore. We can't find it. So I'm sorry. And they send me a report on the whole incident. Then I went into hospital for some knee operations, which I didn't plan. And when I returned and I was actually back functioning again, I followed up and I said, guys, I mean, thank you very much. Can you just issue that report for me again? Because I need to claim from insurance. I couldn't find the washing machine. My insurance company wants to pay me for replacement of the broken item, but they need a serial number of the product, and secondly, a photograph of the product. this particular business couldn't offer it to them. They've already actually taken the washing machine apart and used the parts that they can still use in other machines. So I said, well, guys, this is not the way it's supposed to happen. So my insurer is battling with them at the moment to fix that. But that's again an indication of where poor communication was, or a lack of any form of communication has led to me being a very wary customer of using the services of this particular business again. Have any of you had any recent bad experiences? And I'm pretty sure some of our cell phone suppliers will come up as good examples, because they really suck at it. And I think we've identified last year already in Business Marketing 1 that it's purely because they've got a complete monopoly. There's no serious competition for them. Between MTN, Cell C, and Vodacom, they own 84%. No, sorry, my apologies. They own 91% of the cell phone market in South Africa. So, and they share technology, and they share other resources as well. So it's the big three, and very difficult for you to can't really go from one to the other, because I mean they're all on the same level when it comes to service. They're all equally bad. But yeah, there's no real alternative that's going to get you better service, and they know it, and they get away with it. Anybody has had terrible experiences recently when it comes to this? And I know the reason for me asking is because we're in a time that everybody is battling, and businesses are struggling because of the restrictions as a result of the pandemic, and therefore they should even be more alert to offer better service, because it's so much tougher to remain in business, and they cannot just focus on the quality of the product anymore. They have to focus on the service to customers. Anybody had horrible experiences recently that they are prepared to share? You don't have to. You can disclose the name of the particular brand or business if you don't want to share that with us. But it'll be valuable if you can share any experiences that you've had. What is your expectation when you walk into a business? Do you expect to be treated? And I'm asking because you guys are modern day consumers, as opposed to me being probably a more traditional salesperson. I still have some kind of or some loyalty. If I've received a good experience, I will definitely be loyal, and I'll go back. It's almost, you know what, the trouble of trying to find another alternative is almost so much more effort. But I think later on in your life, you have experienced all levels, and therefore you know what you want, and that would be the sort of bar that you set for yourself as an expectation as a customer. What are your expectations when you go into a shop? What would make you feel special, or don't you? Is it not important to you to feel special? Are you just I know what I want. You can smile at me and whatever, but you know what? I'll go to a different shop tomorrow if there's a better deal on there. Where do you find yourself at the moment with that particular challenge? Anybody?
So I just want them to be nice to me. Like if I have questions, they don't treat me as if I'm dumb.
Yeah, well, what are you asking? You're stupid. What silly question is that? You sometimes do get that reaction, yes.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I hate that as well. They're almost like, hello, have you been living under a rock? You know what? I'm asking the question because I really don't know. So please share. And yeah, that's the crucial mistake that's often made by sales consultants, by treating the customer or making the customer feel in the way in which they explain it to them, as are you stupid? You should be know this. No, I don't. That's why I'm actually here. Let's welcome Ruan back. Ruan is back. Ruan quickly finished another question on his assignment. Ruan, the question that was out there, horrible experiences, good experiences you've had, and how do you, when you go to a shop, we've just heard from some of the other students that said that when they go into a shop, they don't expect to be carried on the hands and be treated like royalty. Just don't. Just be nice. Just be kind. And ask my questions in such a manner that you don't feel as if I'm the idiot who's asking a stupid question. Um, what do you expect when you go into a shop, Ruan? And I'm asking, and I've asked before, and before you were online, it was about the modern day shopper, which are you guys, the modern day consumer. Um, are you, because of a lot of shopping that happens online nowadays, and a lot of shopping that happens during pandemic happened online, or in different ways as the traditional pre-COVID sort of times. And we've become so used to almost a sort of an impersonal um, non-face-to-face contact in the sales transaction, and as a result of that, we've become more self-sufficient. So we don't really care what kind of service we expect. Or do you have some certain standards? And obviously, it will depend on the different types of products that you purchase. I mean, I'm not going to quarrel about items that is less than 10 Rand, for instance. Do you have a different approach to that? Have you had any good experiences or any bad experiences that you want to share with us? And how do you feel at the moment? Do you feel that you want to be treated in a specific way? And in what way do you want to be treated when you go to a shop?
The thing is, it differs for me. So, for example, if I'm going to, for example, go buy a watch,
Yes.
it's quite a big thing. So then I'd feel like I have to be treated, a bit better, nice customer,
Because you're going to spend a lot.
satisfaction, everything. Everyone should be happy while doing it for you. But when you go buy bread or milk or something at like Pick and Pay, you don't have to be like you're some royalty or anything. But it would be nice to still be greeted nicely and treated nicely. Because it can make your day sometimes just by being greeted nicely.
You can. Yeah, you're quite right. You're quite right. It's very much product specific, and obviously, the more durable the product, and the more expensive it will be, and the better treatment you almost sort of expect.
Are you guys going to wait, or are you gonna go like leave now?
Hi everyone, my apologies. Technical issues there. I had to quickly reboot. Everything's fine. Thanks for those who are still with us. Let's resume where we've left off. I'm going to just quickly upload the relevant chapter and go to that particular page where we left off. We're talking about and we're sharing different ideas and different experiences that you've had as a customer, good or bad, and specifically asking the question what your expectations are when you do enter into a transaction or enter a business and you are looking to buy a particular product. Ruan said that it's very much product specific for him. If he's going to spend a lot, if he's buying an expensive item like a watch, for instance, he would be expecting, because of the nature of the transaction and the amount that he's going to spend, he would expect some special treatment. Not necessarily the case when he's buying consumer goods that they use and consume on a daily basis, but there at least the expectation would be some form of friendliness. You don't have to go out your way for a person who's just buying bread and milk, but you also at least can smile and greet them properly and be nice to them. What are your experiences? Anybody else who wants to share a particular experience that they've had? I'm pretty sure we're going to get some cell phone supply related examples, because they, being very much a monopoly in that industry, suck at service because they know the customer has very few alternatives to go to, or the trouble that they have to go to change the supplier is almost, yeah. Anybody had horrible experiences or bad experiences, good experiences, and what your specific expectation is when you as a customer go into a shop? What is your expectation when you visit the shop? What's the minimum that will keep you happy and want to return to that same business?